Hello, hello, and welcome to the Dog Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am the Dog Geek. It's been a while since I had recorded a podcast. Life, I think, just got a little crazy and busy. But this, I actually was really excited to mark out some time in my day to sit down and chat because I love talking about dogs. I could talk about dogs all day, which is why I started the podcast. So I can talk about dogs and people who were interested would listen, maybe get some good information. So, welcome to 2024. I hope everybody's Christmas and New Year and holiday was lovely. I hope it was lovely with your dogs. I hope your dogs didn't cause you too much stress or it wasn't too stressful on your dogs. So, today I want to kind of go to some basics. I want to start the new year fresh. We're going to start it off. Right at the beginning, I guess you could say. And I want to talk about your dog, all of our dogs' needs. And this goes for whether you have a puppy, you're getting a brand new puppy in this new year, whether you're going to adopt a dog of any age, or for your current dogs. So this is kind of across the board what dogs need living in our world to feel content, to feel confident, and to be good housemates, right? So a lot of times dogs are missing key pieces to their needs. And this is how we end up with some unwanted behaviors. So if all of our dogs' needs are not being met, sometimes we get that excess energy, barking, chewing, anxiety, and that those are the things that cause us stress. So let's chat about what our dog's actual needs are. So there's a lot of ways to break this down. This is the easiest way I found to break it down where it just doesn't get too out of control. So there are four categories that I have divided this up into of your dog's needs. So your dog has biological needs, emotional needs, social needs, and mental needs. All four of these things are needed equally. So, easiest one first, which everybody's, usually everybody is great with, is our biological need. Well, the dog's biological need. So, obviously, dogs need food to survive, they need water, they need sleep, but good quality sleep. They need shelter from the elements, and they need exercise. So typically someone goes, oh, yeah, well, my dog gets all of those things, so my dog is fine. That's only one of those four branches. So most dog owners are fulfilling the biological needs of our dogs. Then as we branch out, these are the added things that we need to provide for them to, again, make them feel content and happy, comfortable, and be better behaved for us. All right, let's talk about our dog's emotional state. So, this is that second branch that I had mentioned in our dog's needs. So, dogs have a range of emotions. They're not as complex as ours, they're much more basic, but they still have them. So, in in my training that I do, I am working on changing their emotional states, either from, fear and anxiety to confidence and joy, or trying to mellow down emotion. Maybe we have hyperactivity, maybe we have hyperarousal, and I need to try to bring that emotional state down to a calmer place. So, we need to make sure that our dogs are getting their emotional needs met as well, because it's just as important. So, dogs need to feel one of the things everybody always understands, again, and they try to do, is the dog needs to have joy in their life and they need to be having fun. So that's going to be different for every dog, but it's an outlet. It's an outlet that they enjoy doing. Some dogs love to play ball and chase. Some dogs like to go for runs. Some dogs want to sniff. Some dogs want to look and explore. So every dog's going to have a different idea of what they find to be fun, depending on the breed, which is really just genetics, right? So if you have a dog that is let's see. You might have a dog that's a working dog that likes to, like a border collie is the easiest example that people all tend to know. The border collie would work on a farm, and they would herd and corral the sheep, helping them to get either move from pasture to pasture or helping them get into a pen or something of that nature. So those breeds, that breed, I'm sorry, is a working dog, and they love it. They are excited. They get up every day. They are happy to work. They like to work. They like the job. So those dogs are finding joy in that. Um, if you have a scent hound, a beagle, a basset, bloodhound, any dog that has a really good sniffer, they love doing that, right? I hear a lot of people with beagles who'll say, oh my gosh, it's so hard to walk my dog because the nose is down on the ground the entire time. They're not paying attention. We get wrapped around things like bushes and poles. So knowing that we have a breed and a dog that enjoys that, and that is something that they find to be fun and that it's channeling them, we want to take that and apply it elsewhere. So before you go for that walk, maybe you channel that and let them work that in a specific area first, and then you can take them for a walk, and their brain will be tired enough from all of the sniffing that maybe we'll be able to get more focus on a walk. So dogs need joy and fun. We have to find things they love to do, and we want to embrace that and give them that to do. Some dogs are diggers. Some love to dig. So instead of having them dig holes all over your yard, you can get them a sandbox, right? Puppy sandbox. And you put sand or dirt. You can hide toys in there. And that's a time where you're giving them that outlet of fun that they love to do, but in an appropriate way. So dogs also need obviously attention and love. And when I say things like love, they want and crave to be cared for. So we want to make sure that we are providing that to them, and we're not just ignoring them. They're not just ornaments in the house. They are not just another accent in the home, right? They are beings that need love and attention and care. So we want to make sure that we are providing that for them, and that they're not getting swept under the rug or treated as though they're just there for show. Uh, Dogs need emotional consistency. So they like to know what's happening. They like to know. See, he's a very talkative dog. I think I had recorded another bit and deleted it because he just was whining away. One of my dogs is the most affectionate that we've ever had, but he's also the most talkative. So they need consistency, right? So consistency in their life creates stable emotions. So when things are unpredictable, it causes some anxieties. It can cause some stress, right? When rescues sometimes, right, they're bounced from place to place, or and they're not really sure if this is going to be an environment they're going to be staying in. They can cause a lot of anxiety there. Consistency in our rules of the house is very important. So, and it does affect their emotional state. If you have one person saying the dog is allowed on the couch, and then another person is yelling at the dog to get off the couch, this is conflicting. They're two opposing things. So this creates stress and in our dogs and uncertainty. Let him outside. Give me just a hot second. You want to go outside? You want to go out? Let's see if I leave that, if he'll go outside. And you can see how because they don't understand our language. So they're always trying to figure out what to do based on our responses, based on what they've learned, based on rewards and things like that. So that type of thing makes a very unsteady environment where, sometimes it's okay for me to do this thing, and then sometimes it's not. So that causes stress. Consistency, it has to be met across the house with everybody, so that our dogs, again, they feel confident that they know the rules of the home. Is my dog allowed upstairs or not? Is my dog allowed to sleep in bed with us or not? Is my dog allowed to pull on leash? Is my dog allowed to jump on people? So if the rules are not the same throughout the whole house, this causes stress, emotional stress. So you want to make sure you have consistency. Also, consistency in a schedule. Dogs enjoy predictability. It makes them feel safe because they know what to expect and what's going to happen. So when you have either a puppy or you adopt an adult dog in, anytime you're bringing in a new dog to the home, you want to have some sort of schedule set, because this will help allow them to adjust to your home quicker and feel more comfortable in your home quicker. So we want to have a schedule set for when they're going to be fed their meals, when they're going to be having a play session, when they're going to be taking nap time, when people are going to be home or not. So so they like that schedule. It's predictable. A lot of people will say, my dog knows when I'm going to work. Well, sure, because you have a routine on days you're going to work. Whatever that routine is, they recognize that routine and they know, okay, they're going to be leaving. My dogs know when the kids are going to school in the morning because it's the same routine every time, or they're bringing the same bags with them, or the jingling of the keys means you're leaving the house. So, keep that in mind. If you have a dog that seems to be anxious and stressed out and things like that, maybe look at a schedule for them. Look at a wake up time. Look at an exact feeding time, potty times, play times. Schedule out those sessions for a dog that is anxious. They need that outlet, which we're going to get to. Well, that's actually an exercise. Back to biological needs is the exercise. So your dogs, when we talk about consistency and the schedule, your dogs need exercise, and dogs typically have 2 energy bursts of the day. One is in the mid-morning-ish, give or take, and the other one is in mid-afternoon. Obviously, everybody's schedules and lives are a little different. Some people are up at 6 a.m. Some people are up at 8 a.m. Some people go to bed at 9 o'clock. Some people go to bed at 11 o'clock. So obviously that will adjust a little bit based on your lifestyle. But especially if you have a puppy or a new dog in the house, you need to block off time for them to get exercise mid-morning-ish, mid-afternoon. And that's going to help give the emotions of joy, fun, getting exercise, heart pumping, brain working, and then they will feel more content and relief because of the exercise. So that brings me to that last piece, is that dogs need relief. They need a breath, a place to go, okay, this is fine. I can escape to this place and I can feel safe and secure in this place. So relief also might mean, right, that they were playing. They need that come down of emotion. So they need a place to rest. So is that place going to be a crate? Is it going to be a bed? Is it going to be the couch? They need a place to go, okay, I'm going to relax here. Relief may also be relief from other people in the home. So if you have young kids in particular, or some family members that may be coming over that are a little bit louder or a little more spontaneous with their movements and their actions, some of these things might make a dog anxious or nervous. So we want to give them a relief place, whether, again, that's a crate they can go to, a bedroom, a bed, or a place away from that person so that they can get relief. There are plenty of times where I have been at a party or a gathering and I've just felt a little overwhelmed and a little bit overstimulated and I needed to step away. So I might pop outside, get some fresh air. And that's my relief from the environment. Dogs also need relief from other dogs. So if you're taking your dog on a walk, if you're going to a park, if you're going to a dog park, there are times where it's just too much. Dog play should not be going at 100% for 10 minutes. Dog play, good dog to dog interaction, is playing a little bit, a pause, a break, a check-in with each other, and then maybe another bit of play. It's back and forth at 50-50. One dog's not totally overtaking another dog. So your dogs also need relief from play so that it doesn't get out of hand, out of control, so that one dog's not overbearing on another dog. So we need to sometimes step in and provide the relief. We need to show our dogs that you can have relief here from me. This is a space you can have relief. This is an area you can go to calm down, bring the emotions down, and help relax. Oh boy, my doggies might get into some play. And it's getting to be that mid-morning, so that would be right on track. So let's move on to the third branch of our dog's needs. So we talked biological, we talked emotional. The third one is social. So again, some people take this idea of socializing our dogs to a bit of an extreme, and then other people don't, think of it really at all. So social means in all aspects. Social is socializing with people in the home, appropriate socialization with the family, appropriate socialization with other dogs. That means appropriate playmates, socialization to the groomers, to the vet, to new experiences, novel experiences, to fireworks, to the doorbells, to animals outside. Anything that your dog is going to be interacting with in their environment would be social needs being met and appropriate social needs being met. So easy peasy to begin with is our bonding with the people that they live with or dogs that they live with. They do need a bonding person. So somebody and people in the home that they feel safe, that they trust, someone to help kind of guide them through things. And dogs are going to bond with the people in your family differently. So some are going to prefer to maybe sit with one person as opposed to the other. But they need that bonding. Play, right? Again, it sounds pretty simple, but dogs need to play. They need to play tug. They need to play games that dogs are familiar with. So tug is a great game to play with your dog, and it creates bonding. Tug is a good game for two dogs to play as long as it's 50-50. And when I say 50-50 in tug, they should be giving equal force that equals 100%. So I have a large dog and a small dog. My small dog is pulling at 80% of the force on the tug toy, and the big dog is only pulling 20%. So the large dog, if he pulls 80% and the little dog pulls 20%, the little dog's going flying. So that's what I mean by equal 50-50 play. I probably shouldn't say 50-50, but there should be equal tug play. Regardless of size or age. If it's a puppy and then you have an adult dog, they should still be matching the force so that it's equal pull. So they need to when they play, typically playing is practicing. Play is practicing their genetic backgrounds. Play is practicing just genetic things. I'm losing words. So when they're playing tug, that's basically simulating, the pulling apart of an animal. Now, that's not something that they do now. They're not going to necessarily hunt down an animal and two dogs are going to rip it apart, but that's the genetic background of that pull. So it only works if there's this equal force happening. When they are digging, it's natural. When they are chasing, it's natural. Herding, it's natural. So we want to play in using those things. When your dog gets a stuffy, like a stuffed toy with a squeaky in it, a lot of people will say, well, my dog just shreds them. But, that's the point. So it is play for them to shred the toy. And the point is that they're dissecting it and they're making the squeak stop. So typically they're going to pull out all the stuffing and they're finding that squeak and they're going to chew on that squeaker until it stops squeaking. So again, it's this I caught it, I dissected it, and I killed it, and job is done, right? It's no longer squeaking or stuff. There's nothing left inside. So that is play, but it's play in their natural way. Um, boundaries are, I'm laughing because my dogs are running all over the place. Boundaries, again, boundaries goes into consistency to help the emotional state. So, boundaries are like, again, are they allowed on the couch or not? Um, boundaries are with other people, with you guys. Are they allowed to jump up on you? Are they allowed to jump up on guests? If they're not, that's a boundary set. No, you're not allowed to jump up on a guest, and we're going to teach you that rule. So they need, again, clear boundaries, clear information, so that they know the rules. Am I allowed to bolt out the front door or not? When we go for a walk, what are the rules and the boundaries of that walk? The boundary of the leash. How far is that leash? And they need to learn that so that they're not pulling and choking on the leash. You're not yanking back. So really important that they learn boundaries. And then cooperation. So cooperation, meaning, and so as it pertains to social needs, is working and understanding each other. So cooperation with their owner or with people through learned communication, or cooperation with another dog through learned communication. So we train and we use keywords, phrases, and things to communicate with our dogs, things that we taught our dogs to do and understand so that we can live together in peace and harmony. So we're working together in our lives. So I can ask my dog to wait at the front door, meaning you're not going out the front door right now. I'm just taking my child to school. You are not coming on this trip with me. And my dog goes, okay, I understand that, what that means. We are working together in communication. A dog with another dog, learning dogs, how dogs communicate, right, is when they're together, dog on dog, there's cooperation happening. So during a play session, I say there should be a break, there should be a pause, because they play. There should be a break, check in. You good? I'm good. You ready to play? Maybe another play bow, an invitation to continue play, and then they play again. If that cooperation is not being met, this is when we get, one dog starts to become fearful and another dog is overbearing because they are not working cooperatively in play. All right. So the third and the last, my gosh, the third, my puppies, the one wants to get on my lap, one wants to play. Oh my goodness. The third piece is, or the fourth, oh my word, the fourth piece is mental stimulation. So your dogs need to be using their brains, and they need to have understanding to be confident and content. So mental stimulation, our dogs need to be able to have choice. They're not robotic. Some people want their dogs to just do something because we say so, but dogs need choice. And bear in mind, dogs always have a choice. They're always making choices to do, well, choices of, right, is you want them to come in from out back, but maybe it's more fun out back. So they're making a choice. Am I going to come inside or am I going to stay outside? If you ask your dog for a sit, you're like, I know my dog knows a sit. We've trained it, they've learned it, and you ask them to sit and they kind of just look at you. Maybe they're just making the choice not to sit right now. But they need that. They need choice between like what toys they want to play with, choice between what bones they enjoy, choice in life. Because when they're making their choices, we are learning the things that they love in their choice. We are learning what's valuable to them. And that is making them feel content to be able to choose. Now, how can we make the choice of coming in the house more desirable than being outside? That's how we work on training. It's not come in because I said so. It's come in because the choice of coming in is going to be a positive one, a valuable one, and you will prefer to make the choice to come in. the next piece that they need is enrichment. So they need to have new things in their life to explore. They need new things to sniff, to work with. They have different activities like wobble toys that the dog has to work out to get kibble. They have toys that you hide inside of other toys, and then the dog has to pull those out. Those are enriching. Taking your dog to a new location to smell is enriching. So when you take your dog around the same blocks day to day to day to day, yes, it's good for them to take that walk. They're getting the news of the day, who was here before, maybe what wildlife came through. But typically, those routes are being passed by the same dogs and the same wildlife day to day to day. So it can become a little bit boring for your dog. So we want to give them that new enrichment, new smells. So maybe you go one block over today, or you take them to the park, or take them to the store, and you're going to work on different training while you're out and about. But they are getting new environments, which is enriching. When you don't give them new experiences, that's next on my mental needs, is that they need new experiences. So new experiences is also enrichment. So when you don't give your dog new experiences, new places to go to, they can get bored. And when our dogs get bored, they can get destructive or can start to create some bad habits, excess barking, excess whining. I think my big boy whines when he gets bored at times, and maybe chewing and destruction, anxiety. So we want to make sure that they are getting new experiences, and that could just be a new toy. That could be a different chew bone. Maybe you were getting bully sticks, and then maybe this time you're going to get an ostrich trachea chew, or you're going to get a yak cheese bone, and that'll be different. So it's new. It's a new experience. It's enriching. And then your dog is having choice, right? Do they choose to play with the new thing? Are they enjoying that? Or do they decide that that's not something that they want and they prefer something else? But you're giving them that exposure. New experiences to different places. Again, working at where your dog is comfortable. We don't want to stress and overdo it and just bring them out, even if they're scared of the situation. We want to work with them where they're comfortable, but we want to work with them. And when you're giving them new experiences, you are creating confidence. When you're working with them at their comfort level, you are building confidence in your dogs, and you are making a dog that is more social, more apt to the new experience. And when something then new happens, they will not necessarily receive a new thing in fear and anxiety, but see a new thing in optimism, in enjoyment, because it's fun to have new experiences. So if something new happens, it's not scary. So new experiences are important. And then the last bit to my mental stimulation is that your dogs need to succeed. So again, they don't need to succeed all the time, because that's impossible, right? Sometimes they just have to come inside because they have to come inside, and maybe we don't have the treat for them, and it's raining, or there's a animal out there and we don't want them to get into a scuffle. I mean, life happens. So sometimes they're not going to succeed, but when they succeed, it raises confidence. When they succeed at things, it produces dopamine in the system, which is the happiness. So, succeeding could be at that puzzle toy. So if something is too hard to figure out, the dog is going to get stressed and anxious, and we don't want to give our dog stress and anxiety. So maybe we need to do something at an easier level first until they can figure it out, until they succeed. And then once they succeed, we can build on that building block and say, okay, you can do something a little bit harder now, and I can push your levels a little bit more, but I know that you can do it because it's not going to be too hard. Too hard, frustration, they give up, walk away, and we don't want it to be too hard, because then that's that's not releasing the emotions we're looking for. So we want them to succeed in things. All right. Well, I hope that wasn't too all over the place for you because this is my first time back. I don't even know the last time I recorded a podcast, but this is a good rundown of all the things your dogs need. So if anything in here you were like, you know what, my dog doesn't get enough of this, then maybe try to focus on the new year. Once a week, start easy for yourself too. Once a week, take them to a new place for a walk. Or once a week, you're going to take an extra 10 minutes out of your evening to play with them outside. I know it's getting colder here in New Jersey, so it does get a little difficult to be outside. So maybe then you're going to set up things inside, enriching things inside. Start once a week. Keep it simple for yourself. Doesn't have to be too complicated. Dogs are very basic creatures, and sometimes it doesn't take much, just maybe a paper bag with some treats in it, and they have to shred it and rip it up to get the treats. Yes, you have to clean up the paper bag, but you're providing your dogs with things that they need, which will make them more content, more confident, happier dogs, and then you're going to have better living companions, and you're going to enjoy your dog's company a lot more if all these needs are met. And when these needs are met, you find that you avoid a lot of the other behavioral issues that we dislike in our dogs. So biological needs usually always met, but just make sure that they're getting enough exercise, and make sure they're getting quality sleep. Emotional, they need to make sure that their emotional needs are met. Social, and that doesn't mean over social. So don't go throwing your dog into this crazy room of 50 dogs and going, great, they're socializing. All right. Social in your dog's ability. So at your dog's pace, where they are comfortable, where they are going to learn, and mental, making sure that they are getting enrichment and they're using their brains. Using their brains, mental exercise is just as important as physical exercise. So those need to be met at the same requirement. So if you're giving your dog, 20 minutes of cardio exercise outside playing fetch, you need to give your dog 20 minutes of mental stimulation on a walk after. Okay. I hope that that was helpful. I really enjoyed chatting, and I look forward to my next podcast. I'm going to try to do them more often. And thank you so much for listening. If there's any extra content or things you want me to talk about or troubleshoot, please let me know. I love to talk about anything and everything. Have a wonderful 2024. Play with your dogs. Have fun. Enjoy them. Love them. And I will talk to you next time.